Been busy. Definitely is a little bit more to do in Raid. Gear Ascension Tournament. Alright, we got to do that. Alright, we can finish that later today. Fusion warm-up event. Yeah, we got to finish that. Nips the Wolf is hanging out. How are you doing? Welcome in. We've been playing for a little bit here on Twitch, and we just opened it up to YouTube. Tag team. Oh, tag team is so much easier now. I love this. I just got to look and see what's going on. Hello. How Bean is doing? Bean. Okay, so we have. Thank you for asking. We lost. So we have. Kat's grandparents are here, and they have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I guess a Yorkie. And the other two cats are fine with her, but Bean not a fan. And Bean has pretty much hidden in the bedroom since their dog has been here. Oh yeah, the sim on this is amazing. It's like night and day difference. Yeah. I'm in gold 4. I guess I have to stay in gold 4 for Rama 2. So that's a thing. But I got to tell you, as far as like time management and frustration, I feel like effort to reward this was my least favorite. Hello, Team Rover. How's it going? What's up, John Smith of all things? Good evening. How's it going? Welcome in. Kind of hoping to do maybe a roster review today. If we have time. Trying to do a lot of this before the Super Bowl. I normally don't get into sports that much, but Kat's grandfather's here, so he wants to watch the game. Logically, I mean it's the Super Bowl, right? So that'll be starting here in what, 3-4 hours. Wow, look at the size of these teams. Holy moly. I need to get Marius. And today I'm stuck on that really obnoxious Marius one that takes a month with the Iron Twins. What makes it super? I don't know. Superb Owl? Yeah, I'm just not really into it right currently. In the past I have been, but currently I'm just not really into any kind of sports. All right, let's see what else we can get done. No, I know. There's something wrong with me that I'm just not into sports. I don't know when that happened. I used to love basketball, football, golf on TV. Specifically those. Watched a lot of basketball and golf, and football was always a thing, right? All right. Oh, there you go. That's a big, 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 big W. I'm going to make use of that now. It's one of the better epics. It's a big W right there. That's a big W. I mean, look, I mean, I run that on there. Hmm. I believe that's getting yeeted. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that. It is very complicated. So the only way that I can suggest getting into raid is got to use the codes, of course, because you get a lot of good champions. Right beneath me here, I'll move out of the way. There's a missions, and there's going to be something called the Arbiter mission. And just stay if you're interested in playing raid, that is going to ease you into the game the most, more than anything else. It's more the Arbiter missions are more or less the tutorial. Yeah, we're gonna put Perch Shadow. All right, let's see of what kind of. Mm-hmm. Heck, increase when removing buffs. Wait a minute, she does that. Yeah, right. Allies revived by the wear are additionally healed by another 10%. We could do that too. She doesn't heal. Additionally healed. She doesn't heal though. I don't think she has any healing. Wait, this skill's cooldown cannot be decreased. Yeah. Is that? Yeah, that doesn't conflict with Perch Shadow because Perch Shadow just gives her extra turns. Yeah. Allies revived, by the way, are additionally healed by 10%. That work? Well, I don't know. Upgrade. All right, we'll have to worry on that one. Okay. %16 chance. Okay. When did it give up on Galaxy of Heroes? 5 years ago, at least. When Jedi Knight Luke came out is when I gave up. Yeah, if you're gonna start playing Raid, you got to use the code because that's gonna be the best way to do it. There's a ton of videos me using these exact characters to do very well early game. And then right now they've got the Assassin's Creed Ezio log in for 7 days. Crypt keys. Okay. Let's see. Curse City and Crypt. Wait a minute. Grim Forest just reset today, right? Skinwalker. I don't have my Skinwalker set up right. Yeah, it's been a minute for Galaxy of Heroes. I do miss it, by the way. I miss the community. I miss Grand Arena. I think Grand Arena in that game was about as good as it gets in any hero collector game for the way I like playing games. Yeah, and it was also at the time that the Galactic Legends came out. Kylo Ren and Rey. Saw an elderly man in his 70s or 80s playing Galaxy of Hero in his car. What? For whatever reason, I feel like Galaxy of Heroes has really held on to their fan base better than Marvel Strike Force has. I haven't followed how the things have been going over there, but I know the game is thriving still. Jexter coming through. 35 months. Twitch Prime. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. If you're on Twitch and you have Amazon Prime, you can link it to Twitch. And that's because Amazon owns Twitch now. And you get one free Twitch Prime sub to give to your favorite streamer, which of course is Adriana Chechnik or somebody like that, clearly. All right, and then what do we got to clean up? That's not what I wanted. We want to. What do we got to finish today? Curse City. We need to do Classic Arena as much as possible. Gear Ascension. All right, we'll run that. Classic Arena. That's auto complete, right? You have to. Oh wait. Is Live Arena running right now? All right, we got to do Live Arena immediately after this. Did you guys finish the Coalition event? I gave up on this. I can't justify seven sacred shards for that. If there was some juicier rewards, like if there was a singular Lego book here in the Summon Rush before this secondary milestone here, if there was a legendary book right here, I probably would pull the trigger. What's up, cat? Yeah. Grim Forest deck? Oh my god, Nips. I don't know, man. I don't. Okay, so here's the reason why I can't do that for you, Nips. Is, as you know, Raid Shadow Legends is. Yeah, there's characters in the kits, and the mechanics of the characters do operate according to their kits. I get that. But as far as stats go, and the general productivity of the characters, that's mostly gear. And I don't know who you have geared correctly or put in your best relics and best gear, because there's a lot to be said for that. Like we all like individually know, it's like, holy shit, I got my best gear on Empress or whatever, or I got my best gear over here. And it's like, well, that's kind of who you should be taking into Grim Forest. You do need a balance between supports and damage dealers. You do need an HP burn character. You most certainly need several HP heal immunity, whatever it's called, HP healing immunity. You need several of those. In fact, I would start building your deck with that. You know, Lemon-Easy and Cold Heart and Venom Age, probably at a minimum, if you've got, or whatever you have. And then from there, you need to have your speed leads, preferably speed revive leads. You got to have buff strippers, like Hilvy. You need to have healer revivers, yeah. Just, you need to have like a balance. Yeah, I can look at it, but here's the thing, I don't know where your gear is. I can look at, I just don't know how helpful I'm going to be. I feel like that's pretty narrow. I can show you what I did. Ow! I actually put, just for funsies, I'm trying it out. I don't know if it'll be good or not. I pulled out, I don't know, like, I pulled out, let's say, Whisper. Whisper's great, right? But I pulled out Whisper and I put in Raphael. Figure, like, Raphael's probably as effective as Whisper. But I can play Raphael with the turtles? Okay, let's do it. So I pulled out Raphael, and then I pulled out Farakin for... Well, let me ask you this, Nips. Did you finish last time? Did you finish Cursed Forest? If you finished Cursed Forest, then don't change anything. I mean, I didn't finish the very last Bonkers level, but I got through the boss. Did you get through the boss? All right, I'll look at it. Let me do my live arena. And then as far as my team here, not the boss on hard. Okay. Yeah, so look, I mean, here I've got one. So I start with my HP blocks and I run 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I believe that's slightly overkill. And then I started putting buff removal characters. So for buff removal, I've got and HP burn. I've got Mitch. Same thing here. You need some HP burn characters. There's a boss that requires HP burn. I took out Farakin and put Raphael. Maybe a mistake. Buff removal. Block immunity. The turtles seem to be good. Damage. This guy is not as useful as I thought. And then, just more generic damage, speed leads. I put this guy in because he's mythical, and why fuck not? Just might as well. I just want to try him out. Healer revivers. These two don't get used that much. I feel like I end up using Hilvi, Theodosia, or Kaja as leads. And then just generic ass team revives. Got a bunch of them. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 team revives. That might be a little bit excessive. What's up? Did you kill all the mini bosses before going into the major boss? The 5 mini bosses? Because if you don't, the main boss is like really hard. Madame Saris for buff removal. I don't have her built. I do think she's good though. I got quite a few buff removal characters. Hilvi, Michinaki, Sun Wukong. I might be a little bit light on buff removal characters. Well, how's it going, Novice Gaming? Glad you're here. Yeah, I do want to do account. I do want to do account takeover. I'll do one. Let me. I want to finish up Live Arena real quick here, which looks like it's open for me. I did a couple attacks already, and I just need to get 3 wins, and then I think I'll be set for the day. And then I gotta do Cursed City, but I can do Cursed City on my tablet because that's pretty basic. I don't. If Fabian, I don't know. It's so dumb. I actually find Fabian to be kind of annoying to play with. I feel like he just slows things down. But Fabian, yeah, should probably be there. Novice Gaming, yeah. Send me a friend request on Discord. That's my Discord channel right there. Just hit me up. Not a friend request, but at me in the general chat section. And then I'll send you a friend request, and then we'll figure it out. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. I probably should be running Fabian. Hmm. Hmm. Might be in trouble here. Yeah, that sounds bonkers, by the way. Holy shoot. Are you serious? All right, well. Yeah, I never have enough to buy those. I was kind of waiting for Marius and then kind of going all in on Marius as far as reds in the shop. If I can get through this fucking 80 mission that's taking me a month, I mean, I do it religiously. I only refresh the weekends. I refreshed yesterday, or today rather. Takes forever though. Like, and I know they want you to refresh it every day, but the value's not there. It just takes forever. 418 in supersonic set? That's bonkers. How much accuracy do you have? Yeah, I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Oh, this is my free win right here. 560? Well, I mean, that's. Your gear is better than mine, frankly. Sounds like you have pretty amazing gear. I think I have mine 3 something. I have a 400 and something lead, about similar to yours, but I can't get that kind of accuracy with 400 speed. I just don't have the gear. Yeah, your numbers are way better than mine. As far as speed goes, yeah, I do have 400 and something accuracy on Arbiter, 406. But my Fabian, probably 300, 350 with 600 accuracy. 630 accuracy with 300 even. Well, that's not very high. Hmm. Looks like I sacrificed a lot of speed for accuracy in particular. I probably could get to like 350 with like 400 accuracy, I would think. That was giving me a headache. Um, the Discord. Probably should put Wanda submission on He-Man. I think I'm gonna do that. I keep forgetting to do that. Although I'm not seeing Armands as much in the arena. Forty live arena wins. See if I can get rid of. Yeah. All right. I think we got it now. All right. I don't think I'm getting over there. Can these two do anything at all? I probably should just put it on auto and leave it alone. I don't know this character. I don't know what he does. Okay. Get wrecked. All right. Ultimate Death Knife does nothing at all by himself. Well, I guess it's not entirely true. He did a little bit of damage there. As far as I'm concerned, I think Ultimate Death Knight is one of the more overrated champions. I think on paper he reads great, but in practice, I just see him not doing anything. In arena, anyways. Oh, I gotta go change He-Man's relic. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a way of making him do more. I feel like maybe it's the team comps I use. Just don't really care about him. I mean, he's like a loose, slower character. Yeah, this is some annoying shit over here. All right, that makes sense. We're gonna get deleted. He's gonna target Sun Wukong and the match will be over. Oh no, we're okay. Okay. Let's see if we can get. You can delete my team probably, but I've got that. He should survive. I don't know about the rest of the team. Yeah. Wow, did I just win? All right. Woo. Oh, boo. Boo. All right. Well, that was garbage. All right. How's it going, my guy? All right. I added you. I added you, so just accept my friend request. Let me go grab my tablet. Where did I leave my? Oh, I know where it is now. All right, we're finishing up the 5 for 5. I win 5, lose 5 every day. Which seems to be pretty good. No. Thank you. Okay, I gotcha. All right. Send it over and then I'll log in. And then I'll blow through what? Sand Devil. Oh, what I need to do is Curse City. Wow, 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 wow. This is always amazing when it's been this long since the last time I've gone through this. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to take a look. I've been forgetting to do my Cursed City lately. I mean, I got through Amius. God, well, this is going to take forever. We're going to do an account review here in a moment. I love doing these types of ones too. I feel like I've learned so much about the game just by looking at people's accounts and things like that. Oh, what's going on with that? Let's see, that is that way. Huh. Hmm. Ah, I screwed that up. Don't do that. Oh, man. All right. Oh, this is awful. This is going to take forever. I have like no damage on this team. I don't even know if I have gear on some of these guys. I'm not paying attention. Who's got the revive over there? I'm not paying attention to this fight. All right. I don't know. I can't do that right now. Get out of the way. I know. Come on. Holy hell. Move. All right. Scathix. Ishmael and the Slixless. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right. That'll be a lot better. I don't know if this guy's coming through or not. All right, now we got some damage. All right. Let's demit the... Should have probably targeted her first. I know. Take a turn. Come on. There's nothing worse than slow characters with the block. The damage block. All right, this is much better now that we're fighting with equipment. Yeah, this is way better. She can do some good damage too. You know any tips on taking Arbiter missions, reach Groner Gold 4, and it's hard fights there? I hate to say it, Arena is more of a function of logging in a fuck ton and just picking off the 2 easiest matches and then dipping out and coming back in 15 minutes. Rinse, repeat, over and over again. I can take a look at your Arena team if you want me to, but it's... Even with a bad Arena team, you should be able to do that. Generally, there's at least one person with an Arena defense where they just do not care and they're trying to drop on purpose, and you just got to go for them. And then it becomes about just logging in all the time. But I could retune your Arena team if you want. Okay, we got... All right, we're going to get through this. We're going to take a look at Novice Gaming's account here as soon as this match is over. Oh, don't cook me. No, I won't. All right. Let's log out of this. All right. I'm logging in. That's all right. I'm in. Artifacts. Artifacts are super important. All right, let me fix this first. Yeah. How do I fix this? All right, I'm gonna send you screenshots. Just ignore them. All right. 1.34 million. I'm playing the game longer than a year. That's not good. In general, I mean, to get through the Arbiter missions, you have to start going through the Great Hall. And the suggestion is accuracy. Strangely enough, attack is probably the least effective stat against the largest amount of characters. Accuracy seems to be the main one where the game doesn't explain how good accuracy is and how important it is for accuracy. And so the general idea is to work on accuracy first. One of the Arbiter missions is going to require you to get to 7. I'm guessing that's where you're stuck. Yeah, you are stuck right there. Well, later, once you get into this last tier, there's going to be another one that requires 10. Well, that's good. Let's see what you're doing here. Good. Hmm. That's good. Want of submission, that's good. Accuracy, that's probably fine. That's great. Ooh, there's a big opportunity right there. Um, yeah, all right. 1000%. Um, move move Sun Wukong into your main arena team and put him as lead and replace Ezio, let's say. Also, one of your characters, like one of your fives, and you've got a lot of them, one of your fives, the blessings should be changed. Let's say, like on my account, I understand what Soul Reap does and how it works and why it's good, and it's definitely going to be useful to her in more places, but the general idea would be to use intimidating presence because this is going to boost your speed in arena by 15% and hurt their speed by 20%. So using Sun Wukong at 28 lead here, Sun Wukong at 28, and then changing Alice, this Alice right here, to intimidating presence will give him a boost and knock down the enemy. Oh boy. There's no downside to doing this. Undead, high elves, dark elves. Yeah. All right, there we go. All right, well, let's I'm not gonna make the changes most likely. I'm just gonna something to talk about right here. All right, we'll talk about that. Faction Guardians. Ooh. Yeah, we'll talk about Faction Guardians. Um Um. Eight. All right. Let's see here. I have to click your red dots, man. I don't know why. I just have to. I have to click them. You're gonna drive me crazy. See what you got going on over here. Yeah, I'll leave that one alone. There's 2 tiers to Curse City. All right. Oh. Wait a minute, you have Duchess Lilitu and you're not using Lilitu? Oh man. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know. I know. Yeah. All right, so straight up, the most important character in your entire roster, and frankly, the one that you probably consider to be the best character, the character that you're going to use the most, the character you're going to get the most value out of, the one that can probably be used on every single team, it's going to be Duchess Lilitu. Um, I would halt all all advances on your entire account and focus that energy on Duchess Lilitu. Duchess Lilitu, first of all, speed in all battles. She has a way of placing continuous heal and veil while having a team revive. And she can put block buffs. She can mitigate damage. So this should be, like, no question about it, on your clan boss team. As lead. Yeah, this is going to be your most important character in your entire account. Yeah, most important character. Let's see what you're doing with gear. All right. These can go to 12. Oh, man. Okay. Let's talk about this. Trying for 8 years to pull her. Yeah. Yeah. Uh, the most, uh, what I mean by that is Duchess Lilitu on this account can be played probably in everywhere, in every single game mode. She should just be like 90% of the time your default lead in every game mode. Like, just don't even think about it. Put her on the team and make her the lead. That'll change over time, yeah. But for now, I think that is, yeah. All right, as far as gear concerned, there's some breakpoints in gear as far as upgrading gear and levels. And I'm going to say that there's really only three. So it's a number between 1 and 16. When you get it, of course, they're not upgraded, right? But gear should only be at level 8, level 12, and level 16. In general, when silver's a scarcity, the only spots that should be at 16 are going to be these middle three. Everything else, run it at 12 until, there's some exceptions. Maybe crit damage right here, you want that at 16. But everything else should be at, this should be at 16. That's great. That should be at 16. That's great. This should be at 16. The rest of this, leave it at 12. It's not going to matter that much. But if you just want general suggestions, leave this at 12, leave this at 12, leave this at 12. This middle three should be at 16. The cost to take something to 12 is next to nothing. To go from like 0 to 8 is no silver whatsoever. 50,000 silver, 60,000 silver, 70,000, nothing, right? And then to go from 8 to 12 is 2, 3, 400,000 silver, maybe 400,000 silver. So every playable character, every character that you play anywhere, all of their gear should be at least at 12. The cost to take a single piece of gear to 12 is nothing. However, going to 16 is outrageously expensive. The cost to go from 12 to 16 might be 2 million silver. So running any 16 on a team, but something at 0 or 8, no, everything needs to be at 12. Everything at 12, and then these middle pieces here in the glove, the chest, or the boots, those should be at 16. There's no reason to take a character to 15. Leave it at 12. Yeah. There's no reason to take gear to any levels other than 8 to see if it's good, 12 if it's playable, 16 if it's in that middle row. No 8s, no 0s, no 15s. Yeah, no 15s. So like this right here, there's really no reason for this to be at 16 unless it was like a quest or something. That could have been a situation. There's really no reason for this to be at 16 at all. There's no reason for this to not be at 12, not be at, put it at 12, put it at 12. That's garbage. That right there probably should be at 16. I don't know. Yeah. Uma Musume, yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to organize my thoughts. These are the good characters on your account to focus on. I've seen that you've already upgraded Michelangelo, and Ezio, but Duchess Lilitu, Geomancer, and Sun Wukong are over the top good. They require attention. Sun Wukong is auto include on your arena team. Duchess can be used everywhere. Auto include on your clan bus team. Let me see if I've got enough information to make a video. I think so. There's a lot of stuff to work on here, which is good news because you have some over the top good champions. Some champions here that are really important. I'm not familiar. Would you ever play Uma Mizume? I'm not familiar with what that is.
Before we begin, please open your books to these nuts, verses 6 through 9, as we reflect upon the world today. Oh, Annabelle, radiant as the dawn, your face a shining star in the firmament, yet brighter still the gentle curve you bear, a grace upon your breast, soft as morning light.
Oh my God.
Blessed are the robes that touch your frame, for they rest upon a loveliness divine. Your chest a tender crest of noble shade, like hills of heaven rising in repose. O fair Annabelle, the valley of your form is woven with elegance, a peace where every poet bows in awe, and every painter longs to lay.
All right, I'm gonna use the restroom and then I'll make a video about it.
The valley of your form is woven with elegance, a place where every poet bows in awe, and every painter longs to lay his brush. Annabella gloriosa, grace upon grace rests upon thee. Annabella Formosa, your bosom shines with gentle majesty. A quiet strength dwells in your softest lines, a feminine grace serene and bright. Your breast a symbol of gentleness and warmth, comforts the hearts of all who behold you. Nature herself bowed low in crafting you, shaping your form with tender hands. Your breast the living emblem of beauty's art, a gentle power,
All right.
timeless and sublime.
Hmm. It's roster review time. Big shout out to Black Panther, who has a 1.34 million account. And it looks like he's been playing the game for not quite a year, maybe a year. I didn't get the exact number. Hold on. Roster review time, and we're going to take a look at Black Panther. And the main issue we're going to talk about is conserving silver and when and where to put silver on pieces of gear and which types of gears are going to be important to putting silver. Silver is going to be one of the major constraints here in Raid Shadow Legends. However, I got to say, since they eliminated the cost to move gear around and now that it's free, I have found that I have a ton of extra silver, and so that has been excellent. So this is a 1.34 million account, and it looks like he's been playing for a little bit. I didn't get the exact time, but should be further along. And I also have 4 or 5 extra suggestions after we talk about some of the basics of gear. Now, if you've not done so already, click the link in the description or scan the QR code. This is an amazing, amazing starter code, which has 2 amazing legendary attackers with 4 supports. So a total of 3 legendaries and 3 supports. And we're going to talk about that too. The reason why supports are so important in Raid Shadow Legends. Without a doubt, you can't do just attackers. And if I look at the team comps that I use in many different places in the game, I might even have less attackers than supports. It happens all the time. For example, in Chimera, there's my best, most damage dealing team in Chimera is 4 supports and 1 attacker. It is a thing. And having a team full of all attackers is not all great. Now, first thing I noticed is that he has a lot of very amazing champions that are not fully developed, namely Duchess Lilitu, Geomancer, and Sun Wukong. Sun Wukong, I believe, is an auto-include character in Arena, and Geomancer is going to be a boss, just destroyer, specifically in Doom Tower. There's something referred to in the game as Geomancer +4, and what that means is you can go in with Geomancer +4 support champions and you can get through a lot of the things. Now, if I look at what he's doing up here, not a lot of great supports outside of Duchess Lilitu. And Duchess Lilitu is, not fully fleshed out with masteries and everything like that. And so we're going to talk specifically about gear and how important a character like Duchess Lilitu is. Duchess Lilitu can probably be on every single team at the start. It's just one of those generic characters that is going to serve one well. And mostly that has to do with her ability to have a team revive and then to also have a block debuff buff, so prevent the negative effects from coming in. Increase attack will, ramp up the damage. You can use her absolutely inside of Arena. Perfect Veil on all allies except for this champion. Then we've got Revive All Allies. That's great. Continuous heal. And then we can put shield, and more importantly than all of that, decreases the damage taken from all allies from AoE attacks. And one of the cool things about Duchess is that she doesn't place negative effects, and so largely we can ignore accuracy. Now, let's talk about gear. And this is what the main purpose of the video is, and probably the main takeaway is that when a gear comes into your roster at, no levels at all, generally what I'm doing is I'm taking them to 8 to see if it's a piece of gear that I will use longer term. A lot of times I'm looking for speed, secondary speed stats. And, there's not a lot of cost to take a piece of gear up to 8. It's relatively inexpensive. What I'm talking about is it might only be 50,000 silver, not a lot. And I'm just trying to toggle through here to find a piece that might be of interest. Let's start this over. Let's start this over. I got to get to this part of the video quicker. All right. Roster review time. We're going to take a look at Black Panther's account, 1.34 million. Looks like he's been playing for, I don't know, not quite a year, but more than 9 months. And There's some issues with this account, specifically when it comes to silver. Fuck. Roster review time. I love doing these. We got Black Panther's account, 1.34 million, playing the game for longer than 9 months. I can't tell exactly long, probably a little more than a year from what I could see. And we're going to go over the basics of gear and how to conserve silver. This is going to be one of the major things on this account. Plus, I have 4 or 5 suggestions. So if you are just getting your journey started here in Raid Shadow Legends, hang out because we're going to have some over-the-top generic suggestions that will launch your account forward. Speaking of launching your account forward, the best way to do that is to use my personalized hand-picked link, which is in the description. Total of 3 legendaries, 3 epics. The most important thing that I want to point out that this will give you a team comp of 2 attackers and 4 supports. I think that is one of the more important things that we might consider and talk about in this video too, is that running a team of all attackers is not great. And quite often you can get away with 3 supports and 2 attackers. My best Chimera team is 4 supports and 1 attacker. That is a thing here in Raid Shadow Legends. But let's talk about silver. One of the first things I noticed is not an abundance of silver. 581,000 will last about 42 seconds here in Raid Shadow Legends. And one of the more important characters that he has is Duchess Lilitu. Duchess Lilitu is one of those characters that you kind of won like early game Raid Shadow Legends, and it's something that I would consider a carry because this character can be used in nearly all game modes. Speed lead with a team revive. There's a bunch of them, but Duchess Lilitu is definitely one of the more popular ones, and maybe you have her, maybe you don't. It doesn't really matter. But when you get a speed lead character with team revive, that is almost always a very good thing. Now, let's talk about breakpoints and costs to upgrade gear. And everything in Raid Shadow Legends when it comes to gear is in multiples of 4. It costs next to nothing to go to 4. So typically I will jump over 4 and go right to 8. And typically what I'm doing when I'm going to 8 is I'm looking to see if it's going to be a useful piece of gear. Maybe I've got something like this, Feral HP lead. And what I would hope to see down here is maybe a secondary stat of speed. And I'll take it to 8 to see where these parentheses 1 will show up. And I'll have a good feeling if that lands in my desirable stat, which is generally going to be speed or accuracy. Those tend to be some of the more important generic ones. Now, on Duchess Lilitu, she doesn't need accuracy, and that's kind of what Feral is known for, is having high amounts of accuracy, but that's not that big issue of today. But what we're going to talk about is the cost. It costs almost next to nothing to go to 8. 8 might cost between 25 and 75,000 silver. Then the next break point is going to be 12. And I really don't think there's much room or reason to go to 9, 10, or 11, or for that matter, anywhere from 1 to 7. It's you go to 8, and then you go to 12, and then lastly, you'll go to 16. Going to 12 will cost between, let's say, 200 and 400,000 silver on average. And if you're going to play a character anywhere, at any time, every single piece of gear should be at least at 12. And the reason for that is that the cost in relation to like how expensive it is to go to 16 is very low. So for example, right here, all of these should be at 12. If these are going to be, in fact, the pieces that one decides are going to be the best to make this character work as efficiently as possible, which I haven't looked at, we'll look at that later, they should all be at 12. It's relatively inexpensive to go to 12 and just do that. And then from there, 16s. Now, 16s are super expensive. Taking a piece of gear to 16 may cost 2 million. Sometimes you get lucky and it's 600,000, but it could be way more than 2 million. And so I'm going to say that only very important pieces of gear should go to 16. Now, at some point, you do run into an abundance of silver. And I've noticed since they've changed the game for the better and removed the cost of changing artifacts from place to place. There used to be a significant cost in removing them in silver. Now that that is no longer a thing, I'm finding that I am building up silver and I'm able to take more pieces of gear to 16. But when it's in short supply, like it is here on this account, I'm going to say that this middle row really is the only places where 16 will be a consideration. Now, the reason for that is that in this middle row, quite often you will find percent stats. And the thing is this is flat defense, this is percent HP, and then this is flat speed. In the boot slot at a 6-star, this is going to be a big W. 45 speed is going to be one of the better pieces, especially on a speed boots right here, where if the second piece is on another one of the other 6s, then you get an extra 12%. Fantastic. One of the better pieces of gear right here. Now here in the middle slot, we have HP. HP is going to be a percent. Now, there are 3 stats that I want to draw your attention to, and that's going to be HP, attack, and defense. And some of them are better than others. So right here, you'll see defense, and that is percent. And then this is flat defense, represented with just a number. In general, on this primary stat, which is up here at the very top, on these 2 pieces right here, want to avoid flat defense, flat HP, flat attack. It's generally considered to be unplayable, where the percentages are going to be important. So these flat defense, flat HP, flat attack, I'm not equipping those pieces of gear. I'm not upgrading them. They're just kind of dead weight, and they're not getting upgraded. They're not getting any kind of use. Now, percent ones, absolutely. And that's the reason why these are going to be the first slots to take to 16, is because if we look at this top row right here, this weapon slot here always has flat attack. This helmet spot right here always will have flat HP. And this shield slot will always have flat defense. So this top row is not so much about the main stat up here. It's going to be about the secondary stats. And because it's secondary stats, to get the most out of the secondary stats without spending a ton of silver, these should go to level 12, not 16, because we're getting percent possibly here on this bit right here. This should go all the way up to 16. It should be one of the first considerations for going to 16 along with the speed. So just right here, as far as spending silver, not worrying about, is this a good piece of gear? Is this a bad piece of gear? Blah, blah, blah. Top row, 12s, middle row, possibly 16s. Then down here, generally they're going to be 12s. There's a ton of exceptions to that. Sometimes here in this amulet spot on a damage dealer, the primary stat will be crit damage. Quite often that is going to be a strong candidate to go to 16 as well. Lastly, we got to talk about a couple other things going on with this account. There's all kinds of strategies with finding the best gear and using optimization tools and all of that. This is mostly an extreme low-level overview of what silver will do and the cost of silver, and taking care, avoiding taking this top row to 16 because it's expensive. Almost always taking all of them to 12 is a general starting place. A couple of other things here that were a little bit alarming is in the Great Hall, and I just want to talk about this real quickly here. Accuracy is going to be probably the most important stat in Raid Shadow Legends other than speed. And there's not a lot of information on the importance of accuracy. I mean, the game does not give you that information, but I want to assure you that accuracy is going to be one of the most important stats in the entire game. Every character has different ways of manipulating the game and moving forward, and quite often it involves negative effects. And characters are typically defined by their negative effects, like Xenomorph, landing poisons and such. Well, Xenomorph will not be Xenomorph if he doesn't have enough accuracy. And what is the correct amount of accuracy? How much accuracy should one be using? Well, as a general guideline, when you're starting playing the game, will be the dungeons. When you go into a dungeon, typically the suggestion is that if you are in stage 21, you're going to need 210 accuracy on your characters that land negative effects. So that's going to be a vital top consideration is, do I have enough accuracy to get the job done? Because if your negative effects, your poisons, whatever your character is doing don't land, they're just a stick. They're just standing there. This is also why certain characters are interesting and unique and valuable. Is like we have a highly important character like Duchess Lilitu, which does not land negative effects and doesn't need accuracy, which whenever that happens, we're like, yay, no accuracy for her, because we can put stats into her speed. We can put stats into her HP and defense. Now, as far as these other stats right here, attack is only used by attack-based damage dealers. A lot of damage dealers are defense-based or HP-based, or like Duchess Lilitu, we really don't even care about her attack at all. It just doesn't matter. Where crit damage, yeah, like if we're trying to maximize damage, crit damage is where it's going to be at. Attack, not so much. In fact, I'm going to say that attack is the least important stat out of all of these. Accuracy is definitely going to make a difference whether or not the character can actually do what they're supposed to do. Resistance will also prevent the boss or whatever you're trying to go up against in doing what they need to do to you. Crit damage will affect not only defense-based damage characters, attack-based characters, HP-based characters. That's great. All characters could use defense because that's going to lower their incoming damage done. All characters can use HP, where, that's your hit points, right? But only a small percentage of really even care about attack. And so the general idea is to focus on accuracy. Accuracy and speed are going to be the two important. When it comes to going into Demon Lord, there's a couple accuracy considerations. If you're wanting to go into Ultra Nightmare, the number is 230. If you're wanting to go into Nightmare, the number is going to be 200 accuracy. When in doubt, you're going to have to get on Google. Unfortunately, this information is not found easily in game. Also, team composition. I feel like team comp is going to be super important, as I was talking about earlier. You can see that this is essentially a team comp of 5 attackers, which is not going to do well. Absolutely can get away with running 2 attackers and 3 support. So I have a 45-day-old account that already has quick battles unlocked on this. That means that that account did over the 39 million damage, and now I can sim this node. And that was achieved by running 3 supports and 2 attackers. And Duchess Lilitu is going to be the first auto include on this here for sure. So knowing what characters are important. Next, we got to talk about the Guardians. Okay, so this is kind of like a free thing here in the game, is to go into Guardian Ring and then hit Faction Guardians. And then you could click on any one of these and you can see what you're doing here. Earlier, I noticed that he did not have these filled. Now, these are completely reversible. So I went and looked at what characters did he have to 60 inside of that are rares, right? So he's got right here an Undead Horde, here a High Elf, and here's a Dark Elf. So like I use Kale quite a bit, and then we've got Elhain as a High Elf. So we're going to go in there, and we're going to look at that. We're going to hit Faction Guardians, and we're going to High Elf. And what that's going to do for us is we're going to be able to take our duplicates and put them here and hit confirm. And what that's going to do is that all of his rare High Elves, now we're going to get 10% HP. All right, here we can add, and that'll give 10% attack. And then right here, this will add 7 accuracy and 7 resistance. And this is completely reversible. There's no downside to doing this. I would say ignore this commission button because that will delete the characters from your roster. I'm going to say do not use this commission button under any circumstances until you hit level 100. When you hit level 100, you understand when it's okay, when it's not okay. But don't be doing that. So there is a ton of free bonus stats in these Guardians right here, where it could be Like right here, he's got two Alices, right? Well, that's 10% HP. But this just requires being deliberate. And whenever you get new characters in your roster going in, I have found that there's only a select handful of rares, but there's a very high number of epics. And epics, you can max this out on all the factions over time. Let's say if you've been playing the game for 18 months or so, but that becomes a thing where you start maxing out your epics. Then, once your epics are maxed out, then you start empowering them and taking them to +4. Then, when you have epics and you have the faction guardians already maxed out, and then you have all of them at +4, then they become pieces of food. And that's kind of makes leveling up characters a lot easier when one gets to that threshold. Absolutely. Lastly, I just wanted to draw to attention that Curse City and Doom Tower have two levels of difficulties, and hard is the default, and it's hard. And my suggestion is to start off in hard and go as far as possible, and then toggle over to normal. And then normal, one should have a lot of success. There's a lot of bonus stuff right there. The same thing is true in Doom Tower. My suggestion is to go into hard and see if you can clear the first 10 stages. That way, if you get through the 10th stage here, you can use your silver keys on a daily basis, farming the first part of the hard or however levels you go up. And then after that, it's about going back to normal and then climbing as high as possible. There's a lot more nuance and details to gear than I went into here in this video. But as far as conserving silver, I believe those are some good generic suggestions. So if you haven't done so already, click the link in the description. You're going to start off with what I consider to be almost like a perfect team comp. 2 attackers, 4 supports, 3 legendaries, 3 epics. Epic support champions can carry you through this game. This account right here is super lucky to have Duchess Lilitu. And that'll do it. Bye for now. Yeah, I'm a 60-day player, and these streams and account reviews have helped me so much. Thank you, Go. There you go. Yeah, I'm glad that you're finding them helpful. All right, I hope that was helpful. Oh, I forgot to mention, this was the one part I wanted to mention is like, oh my God, open all of this. Use this stuff, man. You have 2,000. I'm really enjoying the videos. I've looked quite far back. There you go, Rain Dragon. All right, I'm out. I know exactly how many talons are in there. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do like doing these. I don't mind repeating myself. I do feel like I've talked about most of these suggestions in a lot of other videos, but it's okay. Something I also didn't say about that account is that account would benefit greatly with higher levels of activity. Yeah, but telling people they need to play the game more, you know, Mikage is mostly fast and accuracy, right? That's about it. Yeah. It's just a matter of making her fast and a reasonable amount of accuracy for depending what you're trying to do. I feel like I've been running her inside of Chimera, so I needed about 400 accuracy and probably close to 300 speed. So that is just going to be about how deep you have your account. I mean, an in-game player may say, "Oh, those are rookie numbers. We need to have her at 450 speed and 600 accuracy, whatever." But whatever wherever your account is, you really just need speed and accuracy on Mikage. The rest of it is not that important. I mean, she needs to survive, but really, she needs to be fast, and she needs to have the minimum amount of accuracy for whatever game mode you're trying to do. Now, if you're trying to be impactful in arena, then there might be a much higher threshold of accuracy than, let's say, in Chimera or wherever. But I'll pull up mine. All right. Something already. There's so much in this game. Holy moly! Like I feel like I can talk. All right, I'm pulling up my Mikage right here. $355 with 432 accuracy. I think there's like little to no consideration on anything else. No. Should I open Primal Shards if it isn't 2x? No. No, no, no. Um, Opening Primal Shards at any other time other than not even double epic, double legendary, specifically double mythical is the most crackeny thing ever. I mean, I just don't believe that us mortal spenders should ever, 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 under any circumstances, open a mythical shard unless the number here is at 1%. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. You can. The problem with protection is so I run okay, so as a general rule, I run protection on characters that don't need accuracy. So, like, the perfect example would be Donatello. I'm my account, my roster. I don't. Dude, that's just that is a better use of my protection gear on somebody like Donatello or Pythion. I just don't have enough um, good pieces to spread as thin to Mikage. And Mikage also needs accuracy. So that's a little bit of a conflict, because protection is a resistance set, right?
Suck on these nuts. Dost thou drink the brew kombucha?
The codes are kind of borked right now. I would try Hell Hades, but yeah, good luck with that. They probably don't work.
Eat and laugh when these nuts strikes the back of your mouth. I was stricken with the malady ligma. Ligma nuts! Do we enjoy the pudding of joy? Putting these nuts in your mouth.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a character that I mean, I feel like feral is the way to go. If you're placing enough negative effects out there, like I recently re-equipped Lydia with feral. If you have an active alliance, a lot of people are getting, like I looked at Kat's account. Kat's best gear in her account was feral because she's in the alliance. She gets quite a bit of good feral gear. I don't know. I've never looked even to like I don't know if Mikage placed enough negative effects to merit feral though. I feel like she probably could just need perception and run with perception gear. Yeah, the existing player codes kind of are short-lived and work for like a month, right? Like for existing players. You kind of just got to catch them. Like I will always put them in videos. I feel like we get like one a month and they last for a couple weeks and then they're gone. Those websites are supposed to track them, but I find that they're generally already expired and they don't remove them. Yes. Yes. Oxlane, yes. Yeah. Ooh, look at this. Nine-piece Chimera? You can. What kind of yeah, I mean, I could see it being good. She definitely placed a lot of positive effects for Chimera. I run her in Chimera and I don't run her. I run my Feral in protection. I run my Pythian in protection. I run my so I run her in Chimera. I run Mikage, Toshiro, Feral, Theodosia, and Lydia. And I recently put Lydia in Feral and I put Lydia in Feral, and then I put Feral in protection. I just don't know if I have good enough gear to get the accuracy, 400 accuracy out of a protection set. If that makes any sense. I mean, I'm sure it's possible. I mean, if I could, I would. I need to look into my. I actually haven't looked into building a high accuracy protection build or higher because you need about 400, right, on the higher levels of Chimera. And I guess, and I'm using her for buff strip, so I do need the accuracy. It's a good idea. Unless you have another character for buff strip and you're not using Mikage's accuracy for anything. I mean, I feel like there's several correct builds for Mikage. Yeah, Feral helps the accuracy a lot. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, Feral solves a lot of those problems actually. Resistance and accuracy problems and damage. Duchess is um so I'm kind of in a weird place with Chimera right now. Where I have the tools to ramp my damage up, but my alliance is one keying the two highest. And so like I ramp my damage up and then I only get one chest and I'm like, well that was a waste. So I can like it's like well I mean that just I just don't there's no upside for me to unless I get everybody I talk to doesn't really want to push Chimera anymore because of Grim Forest. The rewards are pretty lackluster outside of Starstones. And if I care about Starstones, if I don't get the double chest, then I need to drop down and get the double chest. So I'm kind of like in a weird place with Chimera. Oh, I love this that I have all these champions that I didn't have from before. Um, if my trial team does 12, I can do 12 on the second highest, 12 on the second highest one. but I haven't tried the highest damage. I know that it works and it's enough team, but I probably have to build up the stats a little bit more. Plus, I just fully booked the base form of Theodosia, which should help a lot. Yeah, that's about where mine's 12 trials with about 190 on the second highest, and then on the highest I haven't even tried because we're not even two chesting. We're not two chesting. All right, let's see what we get here. Okay. All right. 1.6. He must be like a Titus Wixel team or something like that. I mean, I'll show you. I did if I to get 12 trials, I have to run mine manually. But I think without running it manually, I get like 9 or 10. Um, I can get 12 trials, one key on this. On this one right here, you can see 9, but I did it on auto, 188. But if I run it manually, I get 12. I have to switch on the RAM form with Mikage to get the accuracy up. And then I get like 3 more trials that way. But we're not doing we only have one person in our alliance that bangs out like 1 billion damage with Titus. Can you summon him? No. Out of shards? No. Empress only is not available in a shard. You can only get Empress by playing in Chimera. As far as I know. All right. Android Titus Wickwell, yeah. Yeah. All right, I'm going to call it there. Thank you for being here. Glad that we got some reviews done. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye for now.